Sonic the Hedgehog 3. What normally was just contested with people for being the best Sonic game of all time, often debated against Sonic the Hedgehog 2, is now the third installment in what is currently now the second longest running video game movie franchise in history, seconded only by the live action Resident Evil movies. If you've been on my channel long enough, whether a few months, a year, or ever since the beginning, you know that I'm a longtime Sonic fan and I have loved talking about this franchise since day one. Especially after seeing the first movie, it has really become a major part of my channel. And of course, especially with this movie, it's no different. But there's a lot to cover right off the bat, even with limited information we have. So I wanted to start with this video that will touch on some of the more straightforward and kind of basic ideas rather than going into the movie itself. For anyone wondering, I didn't get around to a review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie, because I was ridiculously busy and I just couldn't get around to it. I personally loved it. I like it more than the first one. I think it is a wonderful movie. I think it really built off of what worked about the first one and cut down the parts that annoyed me, but it was cut down, not get rid of. But for many people, it was really cut down and just gave more focus to what we most wanted to see and really brought it to whole other levels. They brought out so much surprises and just, it is truly, outside of possibly Spider-Man No Way Home, it is the most fun and enjoyment I have ever had in a movie theater in my entire life. I went with a group of my friends to celebrate my birthday a few weeks late. We had just an amazing time. I put together a terrible Knuckles cosplay, but I was so proud of it. And I had such a good time with everyone. And it was simply amazing. I still think it is a great film and it has earned being the highest grossing video game movie in the States. I think it has fully earned that. Now with this third movie, today, I'm unfortunately not going to be talking about the movie itself. I'm saving that for down the line. So we're just going to have to wait until the future to talk about who I know will be showing up, who I kept predicting was going to show up, what I want to see, and what I definitely don't want to see. But all that's for the future. Because today, we're not really talking about Sonic. We're talking about Avatar. Avatar by James Cameron is the highest grossing film of all time. Not adjusted for inflation. I haven't fully seen it. That took away any of my credibility for the rest of the video. I have not fully seen Avatar. I do not have any particular interest in seeing Avatar. Some may wonder what the hell Avatar has to do with Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So I'll clear this up. Avatar 2, The Way of Water, comes out on December 20th of this year, 2022. It has been 13 years since the first movie. I don't know what the consensus fully is on it, whether people are particularly excited, particularly annoyed, don't care, or really excited, but it's definitely going to have its fans, I think, one way or another, and it is definitely, at least currently, the big holiday movie. It comes out 5 days before Christmas, and it doesn't really have anything it's going up against. The worst it is going up against, to my current knowledge, is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which comes out in November. That's the closest to a rivalry in terms of box office that I know of. Here's the issue. unless the film does bad, and I mean like really, really does bad, the third one's getting made. And the third one officially, at least for now, has a release date of December 23rd, 2024. About a week ago at this point, from multiple sources, we have officially had it confirmed that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 will be released on December 23rd, 2024. A little over 2 years, much like the gap between February 2020 to April 2022. A slightly longer gap, that's okay. It makes sense, and I'm completely fine with that. Part of that comes from that even when filming wraps, and this is something I had to remind myself when Sonic 2 got done filming, is that the more Sonic characters you involve, and the more that those characters play into the story, the more time post-filming is required for the CGI. Because Sonic 2 wasn't exclusively animating Sonic and parts of Eggman. They were animating parts of Eggman, Sonic, who was in the film a lot more since he's there from the very beginning, even more so than the first one, Tails and Knuckles, and the climax, and the end credit scene, and. So with this film, at a bare minimum, I promise I'll talk a lot more about this in the future, at a bare minimum, we have to animate Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow. At a bare minimum. I'll cover this a lot more soon. So I don't have any problem with the date. It will be hard to wait for, personally, as it will for everyone else, but I made it through the wait to Sonic 2. I can definitely make it through the wait to Sonic 3. But here lies the issue. Sonic movies are no stranger to going up against big names in opening weekends. The first Sonic movie, due to the delays from November to then February 14th, Valentine's Day, meant it was going up against Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn by DC. It kicked Birds of Prey's ass, like out of nowhere, that weekend. A lot of people seemed to enjoy it enough, but it really showed DC where the money was that weekend. Sonic 2 was no different. It was going up against Michael Bay's Ambulance, and a few weeks down the road, The Secrets of Dumbledore, and it was coming in when Matt Reeves' The Batman was continuing to utterly dominate the box office. And yet with all three of these clashing into it, it still rose to the top to become the highest grossing video game movie in the States, which meant it was up against some serious competition to get that high. And not only did it achieve that, but opening weekend, it handed Michael Bay the worst opening performance of his entire career. That's how well it did. And it's not like this is the last time we're going to see Sonic go up against big names. Sonic Frontiers, earlier today, as the time of filming this, has officially given us its release date. But when it releases means it comes out around the same time as God of War Ragnarok in November this year. So it's going to struggle there too, possibly. So now we have Sonic 3. That comes out the exact same Friday, 2 days before Christmas, the big family holiday movie of 2024. We'll see what Disney pulls out, but it's going up against the third movie in a franchise that opened with that has the highest grossing movie of all time attached to it. Even if, God bless it, Way of Water somehow performs even better than the first movie, and people are utterly floored and just so excited to see the third one, I know Sonic 3 will not bomb. I know it won't fail. I'm positive of that. the goodwill it has built up with the last two movies, the excitement of Shadow as a confirmed character for the next movie, no matter what, unless they really had to do a script overhaul. And that's a family franchise right before Christmas. I really doubt the movie's going to underperform. I think it's going to do very well. Whether it's the numbers Paramount is hoping for or not, we'll have to find out. But it's definitely going to do well no matter who it's going up against, in my eyes. But when it's going up against something this big, I definitely get concerned. I don't think box office is everything. I don't think critical scores are everything when it comes to movies. I think movies are everything when it comes to movies. But the studios look at the numbers, and they listen to your wallets a lot more than they listen to your voices. So if this movie does well, but it doesn't give it Paramount the numbers it's looking for, they can pull the plug right there and say no more movies. And they can blame that on whoever they want, and they can avoid taking ownership for it, and they can credit that no, it was because of this movie releasing, not because of our movie itself. Because they have the power to do any of that as a studio. So that all concerns me. The only positive I have from this at this time, besides the official release date, is that it is not coming out December 2023. Because then I would be angry. Not, oh, how dare they angry, but more angry. Because that would end up meaning that it has to go up against Illumination's Mario movie that still doesn't even have an official title yet. And that would really get on my nerves if I had to go through that debacle and see how well that goes over. Because it wouldn't just be a duel between, oh, it's Nintendo and Sony again. Oh, it's just like the console wars. It'd be a duel between Paramount and Illumination to show each other who can nail each other in the ass, pardon my language, over their intellectual brands and see who can dominate video game movies better. Because it's not like Disney's dipping their hat into the ring anytime soon. I somehow really, really doubt, even if they flippin' bought Square Enix, that we're getting a Kingdom Hearts movie. Don't quote me on that, but I somehow really doubt we're getting that. And at the time of doing this video, I am putting my foot down now, you can quote me on this, that I will not be reviewing the Mario movie. I may go see it. May. At the time of recording this, I don't want to see it. I don't like Illumination at all. I don't want to support them. I don't want to support this film. I don't want to support the choices that it's making so far and the casting it's undertaken. And not going to it will make my opinion heard better than going to it and giving it a negative review. Because me not going to it is $15 less in the bank for Illumination. So with all that said, at the time of recording this, we're getting into some treacherous waters already with this movie. We obviously did with the first film, but the second one really impressed me with how much it managed to get around it. I was really upset that it had to go up against a Michael Bay film opening weekend, but it really shined through. So now we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 versus Avatar 3 in December of 2024. We will see what Way of Water does. I somehow doubt I'm going to go see it, but we'll see what that movie does first. But until then, right now, all we know is that we have the ultimate life form going up against the Seed Bearer. God bless you, James Cameron. I don't have to like all your work. Thank you all for watching. I hope you didn't mind this more somber and serious video tone. Not somber, but I hope you didn't mind this more gritty, direct tone in this video. I really wanted to cover the release dates for this movie before I started getting into all the details because of how much I personally noticed it, and parts of it mean a lot to me. And I want to provide a better history for possible newcomers, since I ended up doing a lot of videos around Sonic 2, and I think I'm going to do a lot more Sonic 3. I promise I'm going to get a lot more into the actual movie, the characters. Next video will definitely be about the leaked synopsis that is unconfirmed, and just discussing my earliest thoughts on that and what I would most like to see with this movie overall after coming off the last one. But for the time being, I just wanted to cover this one. I have some very special projects I'm still working on right now. I have one I'm hopefully going to get finished by the end of next week. That is a major one that I've needed to work on for a long time and do correctly. We're, of course, working on the Epic Mickey one right now. I've got a separate plan for October, a possible collab with a close friend of mine. I've got a lot I'm working through and cooking up. And I promise I'm going to squeeze lots of fun stuff, like fun, more casual stuff, like Sonic discussions in there. Because no matter what happens with this movie, good, bad, success, fail, performs well but isn't good, performs bad but is good, other people like it, I don't, other people don't like it, I do, I will always enjoy talking about it, because that's part of what I do. Bad or good, I have my opinions. And one of the best parts of getting to do this is being able to share those opinions and getting other people's. So I thank you all for your support in doing that. Here's hoping the ultimate life form can overcome his greatest challenge yet. The Na'vi. Thank you all for watching.